Alright, I wanted to start off this video by saying thank you. Thank you for the support for the last video. The video got almost 60 views, which, believe it or not, is pretty big for a video for me because my last videos have been doing alright. But anyway, let's just get right into the video. So this new area is called Jurassic Trail. It may or may not be inspired by this little underground movie series called Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but it is located in the center of Western Ridge, the new expansion of Fairy Tale Land, and right above Freedom Land. So the first thing that I did was I expanded the pathway, which is going to be expanding future stuff. In addition to expanding the pathway, I expanded the train. There's not going to be a train station in Jurassic Trail, but there is going to be a train station in the expanded part of Fairy Tale Land. This video is going to have a lot of landscaping and terraforming. One of the first things I did was I started adding a lot of trees because as it's supposed to be the Jurassic Trail. The first dinosaur that I worked on is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or T-Rex as most people know it as. I'm not going to be able to pronounce half the dinosaur names or even remember most of the dinosaur names, so if I get them wrong, I apologize. I'm probably just going to add a caption at the bottom of the video. This actually came out as probably, I would say, one of my best dinosaurs because you'll see later in the video some of them are okay. Then I went to working on the bridge and the river that is the entrance to the Jurassic Trail area, and then the gate, which is very heavily inspired by the Jurassic Park gate. What? Who would have thought? And I wanted to make it seem as jungle themed or almost as natural, as similar to Jurassic Park as I could. My initial idea for this area was literally just to make it a trail, no ride, really no attraction, but I decided let me see if I can fit in the little car ride that this game has, and it fit perfectly in there, and I was like, I know I can make it work. I've had a lot smaller areas to work with where I put a lot more in, and that's kind of just been like a little challenge that I've made for myself in this game. I'm trying to see how much I can fit into one area and still make it super immersive. And I also started working on the lake, which is going to be for a nighttime show. That's going to be in a later video, but I wanted to set the area for that so that I know what not to touch. A lot of it is, it's kind of difficult, especially when I'm creating a new land that's in the center, because you just kind of have to figure out what the sight lines and how it's going to interact with all the areas around it. I started working on the station for the ride, which is Jurassic Trek, and the second dinosaur, which is a Bronchiosaurus. I believe I said that right, I could be wrong. It's the one with the long neck and long tail. And then a lot more terraforming to kind of hide the building once you're inside the ride. You want to make it as immersive as you can. Really, it's just you're getting onto the ride and then you're in the Jurassic, you know, with all the dinosaurs and everything. And then there's a little surprise at the end, which I'm about to get to. The next dinosaur, I don't remember what it's called. It's the one with that little like horn looking thing, but you'll see it in the video. And that one is kind of just in the water waiting with a waterfall. I wanted to add some like water aspects to this ride to just not make it look like it's all one big forest, because that can get kind of boring. This part of the park, I guess this land, took a little over a month to build, and obviously I brought it down to a 9-minute video. So if you enjoyed the video and appreciate the work, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Leave a comment of what you'd like to see next. I know I kind of have a lot of the park pre-planned, but if you guys have suggestions or ideas of what you want to see, please let me know, because I don't have all my plans set in stone. So yeah, and then there it is. There's the big surprise. It's the T-Rex. That's kind of almost like the big finale on the ride. And you'll see it where basically as you're driving up to the T-Rex, its eyes glow red. Obviously it looks a lot better at night, but it's kind of like that, you know, that jump scare almost. And then the next dinosaur is a Triceratops. Yup. And that one wasn't my best one that I made, but it was kind of hard. I mean, in this game, you're very limited to what you can make. It's all shapes, or it's a lot of those pre-made. Like a lot of the trees, they're all just pre-made. I recolor them because I think that the colors that the game chooses is a little too bright, a little too not realistic. And I decided to add a few little like Easter eggs here and there, like it's supposed to be a car, like the car that you're driving on, to almost be like a sense of danger, like, oh, I wonder what happened to that car. But because this game is very limited, it's just kind of what you get. So this is kind of a nice overhead view. I did more terraforming. If you see like huge blocks being added on, it's because they added a copy and paste tool where now you can select multiple stuff and then you can paste it. It's really nice when you're doing landscaping and terraforming. That way you don't have to continuously just use block by block to make a wall of rocks. And then on this side here, I'm working on basically making Fairy Tale Land expansion work with the Jurassic Trail area, where when you're on the Fairy Tale Land side, you can't tell that there's a Jurassic Trail area. I mean, that's just kind of like the magic of the park. It's to make it seem as immersive in the land that you're in. Obviously, there are going to be some parts in the park that are a little bit difficult to make as immersive because, well, I mean, that's just how it is. There are bigger things like the castles, like you can kind of see them throughout the entire park in some areas, and that's just kind of the inevitable with large buildings. The next thing that I'm working on is the Jurassic Treehouse. I think I call it the Prehistoric Treehouse. Didn't want to have too many Jurassic names kind of clash with each other. It's just almost like a watch out tower where you can go out, you climb up the spiral staircase, and you kind of get a nice view of the park. I'll show you the view of the view that you see from up top there, kind of near the end when I do the cinematic part of the video. This tree took a lot of work, plus I started running into one of the limits in this game is that you can't have too many items in one spot, and it tries to stop you. So I wanted to have a lot more branches, but because there were too many items, it started limiting how many branches I could put down. But plus, I also had to factor in how this tree is going to look like from different parts of the park. So I actually did a circle around, checked it out in Fairy Tale Land, checked it out in Freedom Land, checked it out from the River Cruise ride. I also redid the roof for the station building. I was inspired by the Jurassic Park Conservatory that's at Universal Orlando. I've been there, and I just was like, let me add a little bit of something instead of just putting trees, because trees can get a little bit boring. And then this is a little building that I made for the bathrooms and for the gift shop. In this game, there's a little dinosaur hat stall, so you can get the dinosaur hat. Then I got to also working on what the area is going to look like at night, because you want to be able to see, and then putting down the trash cans. The next dinosaur I worked on, I don't remember what it's called. I had to look it up. It's one of the ones that kind of have like that like dome head. And I made little baby versions of it because I remember that you can size down stuff that you grew. That was not my best looking dinosaur, obviously. And then I also made a baby version of the Brachiosaurus. The last dinosaurs that I worked on were the Velociraptors, which are, I feel like, alongside with the T-Rex, the Velociraptors turn out looking the best. I made a blue version, and then I made just a standard version, which is nice how you can copy and paste. But yeah, and then a lot of it was just kind of filling in the landscaping, and some off-camera stuff I did was really making the Fairy Tale Land side of it. We're about to get into the cinematic part of the video. Hopefully I added enough talking commentary so that it's not awkward and there aren't a lot of pauses. So hope you enjoy the cinematic video. Be sure to comment and let me know what you want to see. Hope you enjoy the video.